And welcome back to more Shantae, Risky's Revenge. So last time, we explored Sequin Land in search of the remaining golden squids, and also collected a few more magic gems along the way. So this time, we're going to collect the final 3 magic gems in Tangle Forest and Squid Baron's Labyrinth, and also explore Skelletown a bit before we head to the final level. So first of all, in Squid Baron's Labyrinth there was an area with water, but we could not dive down deep enough to access a specific area. So that is our first stop today. Also, off-screen, I got to around 900 gems because I actually forgot that I only have the level 1 Stormpuff move, and therefore I actually needed an extra like 250 to 300 gems to actually buy everything. So I do have enough gems now, so we should be good to go. So now we can swim down here and access this hidden passageway, which should have a magic gem for us. Through here is treasure, and with that, there are 2 more to go. So I would recommend either using the Hypno Tower spot to farm for gems, or the Battle Tower. I did a run of the Battle Tower once I realized I needed way more than 600 like I originally thought, and I very quickly got up to the amount I needed. Got a few hundred through a run, like I want to say at least 200, just through the Battle Tower. So yeah, that is a great grinding spot if you need some more gems. Getting there is a bit of a hassle, sadly, because of having to go through the desert, which is a little bit dangerous, but overall, not too bad. So the next magic gem is to the left of here, in that pumpkin field area that connects to Tangle Forest. So there was a cave that we passed by when we were collecting the coffee ingredients and coffee machine, but we couldn't do anything in the cave yet. So now that we have Monkey Bullet, we should be able to do so. So let's hope this goes well. This is a little bit dangerous. This is very, very difficult, actually, at times. So first of all, we need the level 2 fire spell, and you want to kind of line up as far back as you can, and then fire. That should burn down that blockade. So now we have to carefully Monkey Bullet straight across like so, to get to another little tricky spot. So we're swapping back to the single fireball because I find it better for this. Obviously this is not the easiest target hit, getting the fireball to not hit the upper or lower walls, but luckily there are magic refills if you do not have the auto refill. So finally we need to Monkey Bullet very carefully without clipping, again, either the upper or lower part there, and with that we can Monkey Bullet back across. Obviously you could just fall down into the pit, but it actually is kind of cool trying to do this legit, like having to carefully backtrack. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but there you go. So with that, we're greeted by another skeleton, and now the final magic gem should be somewhere in the forest. I think it's around where the warp is. By the way, I am stopping to fight enemies on the way to there, because I only have 1 potion, and I want to have at least 5 going into the final boss. So I definitely want to collect some extra money on the way, even though I have almost max money at this point. This is the Warp Squid Plane, so I think we have to go 1 down from here. So there should be a skeleton indicating that this is the right plane. So through here is a large cliff with a tree. Going up this is much easier than going down, because obviously we can climb straight up. It's a little bit harder to fall straight down, so that'll be interesting. But first of all, one last cave with a treasure chest. There are 2 ways to get through this gap. One way I never thought to try, but it actually works, is to use the Monkey Bullet to get across. But there is actually another way as well. That's it. That is our last magic jam. So, with that in hand, another way you can get past this is to use the elephant, actually, because the dash won't let you fall, so you can just dash over. It's kind of an odd feature of the elephant. I'm not sure of any other spots where it's actually used, but as we make our way back to town, I'm at 939 gems. I think I actually might take the long way back to town to see if I can get some extra gems, because I want to say I need closer to like 950 something, maybe 960 to actually buy enough potions to hit the max. You can carry 9 potions and magic vials at a time. By the way, there are archers, so be ready to duck at a moment's notice. One thing I actually tried was to boot up Pirate's Curse out of curiosity, to see how it looked in comparison, and the first thing that immediately stood out is actually the camera. Obviously, we'll get to Pirate's Curse eventually, but it's kind of interesting that it uses a very similar art style, but the camera is zoomed out more, meaning you can actually see a lot more, which is really helpful. I feel like a problem with this game being a DS game, and something I wish they had done for the director's cut, is actually extend the screen out, make it a widescreen game, and not just like stretch it to fill the screen, but actually add in the sides of the screen, kind of like the Sonic CD port to Steam and mobile and consoles. Like, actually make it a true widescreen game, because this game does have problems with getting clipped by enemies and projectiles from off-screen. Alright, so we are going to do one more shop run. We can buy 2 of these, but we actually have to buy these individually. First of all, I actually am going to buy these items, so I know I have enough. Yeah, we have way more than enough. Cool, so we've maxed out. First of all, showing off these powers, because we will not be using these in battle at all. You can actually kick around the clouds. There's actually an achievement for defeating Squid Baron with the cloud item, meaning basically I'm pretty sure, I think you have to use the cloud item exclusively in the battle as well. One other thing I actually haven't done at all in this playthrough is talk to people. I love skinny dipping in the far end of Pilot Bay. There's an undersea cave where you can hide if any boys show up. Seagulls again. Sometimes I wish I grew up to be a dancer instead of a jug holder. Yeah, all these NPCs have a lot to say. Has anyone seen Mimic, the Relic Hunter? I have a question about my digital watch. There are digital watches in this universe? Interesting. I mean, if there's plastic explosive, that makes sense. The warp pedestals on the far east and far west ends of the ocean are a great way to travel. Neat. Some give hints, some have, like, flavor text. I ate a monkey once, I'm not proud of it. When I moved to this town, I owned a monkey, but a couple weeks after arriving, he was gone. I wonder whatever happened to little Chubonky Kong. Oh. The mermaids out by the cliffs are so mean. Why do they behave so? No kidding. I started dancing from a young age, never stopped. Now it's all I know. But yeah, the Shantae games tend to have clever writing. Oh my gosh, something smells like wet animal. Okay. We've seen that in the story throughout as well. The Mega Puff magic can obliterate almost anything. You should try it. My dad told me when I grow up I will like girls. Gross, that's not true, is it? The Mega Pike Ball has 3 balls with blades on them. It's super devastating. Can attest to this. I'm actually not sure how to get up to this platform. If there's a way, I'm actually not sure how to talk to that lady. The highest level of fire magic is the flamethrower. Take that, you monsters. But yeah, overall the Shantae games tend to have fairly witty writing. I feel like this game has tamer writing even compared to the later games, which I feel like says a lot. The secret entrance to Risky's lair is to the east, beneath the sea. Shantae, you can do it. Save Uncle Mimic before it's too late. First of all, there is one more secret to find. Off-screen, when I was trying to locate the undersea caverns with the baby squids, I stumbled across something else. Over here is a cave with a barricade there, and a bunch of treasure. This is also a good time to show off Attract Magic. Now that we have that item, gems and hearts will just go to us. We don't have to manually collect them anymore. We just have to get within a certain proximity of them. Honestly, I would recommend actually having that item sooner than later in hindsight. I wish I'd had that going into this gem farming spree that I did, instead of having to manually pick up everything. Oh well. Good to know for future playthroughs to pick that up as soon as possible. It's only 100 gems even, so yeah, that would have helped a lot. It's got pretty good range as well, like that gem from the fish there. But with that, we've talked to almost everyone around town, so I think it's time to go to the end of the game. I might actually double check really quickly, just to make sure I did... Actually, this might work. Yeah, that works. No, I've never been to the Battle Tower, but I hear there are rewards for those who reach the top again and again. Also can attest to that. But with that, I think we talked to you already? Sometimes I bathe in my own sweat, don't tell anyone. Yuck. Yeah. I feel like WayForward games in general have kind of quirky writing, and I feel like it can be kind of hit or miss sometimes, but in general I kind of can see the appeal of it. I still need to play a lot more WayForward games, like River City Girls was one I was intrigued by, but I heard that they kinda did not do a great job with the ending, to the point where they ended up patching the ending, so I was kinda just waiting to hear how that ending turned out, and apparently it's like a little bit better at least. But yeah, they tend to have a lot of very eccentric humor. Again, sometimes it lands really well, other times it's a little iffy, I find, but overall I find the Shantae series to be pretty charming, and very fun. Again, I feel like the writing gets even better by Pirate's Curse, if I remember right, and also Half Genie Hero, so that's something to look forward to when we get to those games eventually. But with that, we are ready to head to Risky's Lair. We have a warp squid here, in case you need to backtrack. Okay, time to clock in. Warp squids are on the job. Over here we have one more save room, and past that is more water. So now that we have the mermaid bubble and obviously the mermaid form, we can swim through here to Risky's Lair. And welcome to the Sunken Cavern, our second to last level. It's not that interesting. It's basically a side-scroller, like an auto-scroller, shoot-'em-up, or a shmup for short. So yeah, just kinda move up and down, mash the attack button, take out all the enemies in the way. There is actually a trophy for defeating all of the Tinkerbats in this section. I'm pretty sure you can actually replay this for reasons that will become apparent once we exit this area. But yeah, it's not that difficult to defeat them all. Some of the ones on the ground can be a little bit hard to hit, but outside of that, it's pretty easy. Overall, for trophy collection, this game isn't that bad. The worst trophy is probably beating the game without any heart holders. I would recommend not doing that in magic mode. Take care of that on original mode, because only 3 hearts would make it much harder for magic mode. And also there's one for, I'm pretty sure, like, beating the final boss without using any healing items, which again, I would not double up those 2 achievements there. Definitely want to have full health for that, and also not, yet again, not be on magic mode, because that sounds pretty miserable trying to take care of like all 3 achievements at once. Because there are so many warp points, this game is actually probably pretty easy going to get multiple runs set up. Like, I would recommend, if you want the trophies, to do a speed run, basically. Just try to get through the game as quickly as possible, maybe even skip cutscenes if you just are focused on trophies. basically get to the end, and then set yourself up to beat the game, finish it, and get basically trophies for not collecting everything, and then go back and recollect everything, and then beat the game again. I'm pretty sure that's what I did to get all the endings on my original playthrough. I just basically set up a file close to 100%, but not at 100%, so I could get all the endings. By the way, back to talking about this area, I feel like it's a little bit anticlimactic that there's not a dungeon or anything leading up to the final boss. It's just an auto-scroller. Part of me wonders if this might also have been something that had been planned and removed, because I feel like this is the only time when this happens, when there's not like a dungeon leading up to the final boss, or any sort of like special challenge. Like, I feel like Half Genie Hero's final level makes you put all of your skills to the test, same with Pirate's Curse, while this is just like mash the attack button a bunch, and that's all you have to really do to get through here. It's not particularly difficult, sadly. I would have been interested to see if they had any other plans for the Sunken Cavern to make it an actual level, maybe involving all of the different transformations. Either way, it's still entertaining. I just kind of wish it was more like a traditional gameplay style for the series. We're almost done though. There should only be a few more screens of Tinker Bats, and we should be good to go. So, I also really like the background detail. In general, I feel like for a DSi game, this game looks pretty solid. I definitely think Pirate's Curse looks a little bit better. Again, the better resolution helps. But overall, this still looks pretty solid. Specifically, a lot of the animations still hold up pretty well. That should actually be the end. And with that, we surface at Risky's lair. So, we get full refills, and over here is our final warp squid. What's that? Is it morning already? Okay, time to clock in. Warp squids are on the job. This is kind of what I was talking about, where if you want to get all the endings really efficiently, you might want to set up like an any % run, and then get to this warp squid, and then just go back and collect everything once you're ready to get 100%, and get that alternate ending. Also, if you warp back to Sunken Caverns, I'm assuming you can replay that auto-scroller, and therefore you can get the trophy if you miss it the first time. I'm pretty sure I got all the enemies without really trying, but here is our final save point. Would you like to save a record of your journey? Yes, I would. Save complete. And with that, I think we're gonna call things here. So next time we're going to save Uncle Mimic and stop Risky Boots. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Shantae, Risky's Revenge.